You are afraid to be alone, not just physically but mentally. The silence scares you because when everything gets quiet, you face yourself. The silence scares you deeply. It forces a realization because when everything gets quiet, you are forced to listen. You're forced to face yourself, your thoughts, your habits, your reality. And that is truly uncomfortable. That is why you run from it. And that is deeply uncomfortable, so you avoid it at all costs. So you avoid it. You fill your precious time with noise. You fill your time with endless noise and constant chatter. People, social media, endless distractions everywhere you look. Anything to escape being alone with your own mind. But here's the truth. But here's the absolute truth that you need to hear right now. The life you want will never be built in all this noise. It is built in silence. It is built in isolation and stillness. In moments where it is just you, standing alone in the dark, and your own deepest thoughts. That is where you find power. Right now, you are constantly surrounded by every distraction. You wake up and you immediately grab for your phone. You go through your day reacting to everything around you. And at night, instead of reflecting, you escape once again. Because slowing down means thinking, and thinking is heavy. And thinking means realizing that you are not there yet. You are not where you want to be. Not even close. That realization hurts, so you choose to avoid it completely. But avoiding it is exactly what is keeping you stuck today. As Naval Ravikant said, learn to enjoy solitude and silence. It is where you will find your greatest possible clarity. But you do not enjoy solitude, you run from it constantly. Because you have never trained your mind to sit perfectly still, to focus, to reflect, to understand what is happening. Instead, you have trained it to constantly seek stimulation. And now, without it, you feel restless and agitated, bored, uncomfortable. You know that this is not normal. That is addiction. Addiction to noise and easy pleasure. Addiction to distraction. Addiction to constant escape. And as long as you keep escaping, you will never face you. Because growth requires honesty, and honesty requires silence. You need moments where you sit down in the quiet and ask yourself uncomfortable questions. What am I doing? Why am I not where I want to be? What am I avoiding? And most importantly, what do I need to change? But you don't ask those questions because you are too busy, too distracted, too comfortable in your own current habits. So your life stays the same, day after day, week after week, because you are not giving yourself the space to change. As Blaise Pascal said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. I want you to really think about that for a long moment. You can't sit alone without reaching for your phone, without needing something to distract you, without escaping. And that is the problem, because the answers are inside, but you will never find them if you keep running away. You need to slow down. You need to disconnect, be alone. Not forever, but long enough to truly understand yourself, to see your patterns clearly. Because awareness is the first step to massive change. Right now, you are living on absolute autopilot mode. Same habits, and you don't even question it. You just go through the motions. But when you are alone, truly alone, you notice things. You start seeing where you are wasting time, making excuses. And that is where growth begins. Not in motivation or hype, but in quiet realization that something needs to change, and that you are the one. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Everything you need is already inside you. Discipline, focus, strength, it's all there. But it is buried under distractions, under noise, under comfort. It needs to be found. And the only way to access it is through solitude, through silence, through being alone. That is where you develop discipline. That is where you learn control. It is your forge. Because when you are alone, there are no distractions, no excuses, no one to blame, just you. And that is powerful because now everything is in your control. You are the master. But it is also uncomfortable because now you cannot hide. You cannot escape yourself. And reality is not always easy. You will see your flaws, your weaknesses, your habits, but that is a good thing because you cannot fix what you do not see. Awareness is key. And right now, look, you're not seeing anything because you're too distracted by noise. But once you start spending time alone, everything becomes clear. What you need to do next. That clarity is priceless. Because without clarity, you are just guessing and wasting time. But with clarity, you move with purpose. You act with intention. You make decisions. And that is how your life changes, not overnight, but over time through focused work, all built in moments of solitude, So stop being afraid of being alone. Stop the noise. Because the life you want requires you to face yourself, to understand and improve you, to understand yourself, to improve yourself. And you cannot do that if you are distracted. Sit alone, no phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your own thoughts. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will race. You will feel the urge to escape, because that is where the change begins. That discomfort is growth. Silence is power. And the more you do it, the stronger you become. Mentally, emotionally, physically, because now you are in control. Not your phone, not your distractions, only you. And that is the difference. That is what separates people who grow from those who stay stuck. So if you really want to change your life, learn to be alone. Learn to face your reality. Because until you do, nothing will change. But once you do, everything will change.